Today's lesson is the review for quiz 8-1, which covers lessons 8.1 and 8.2. Let's go ahead and get started with a look at the 5 questions on our quiz today. Question number 1 is going to ask you to rewrite each equation as requested. So we're going to take this formula that we learned in the first section, 8.1, and we're going to change between the logarithmic and the exponential forms of the function. So for the first one, we can see that it is matching this part, and so they're asking us to put it in the exponential. And then for the second one, I have the exponential form, it matches this one, and so they're asking us to put it in the logarithmic form. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at the colors, and I'm going to match them up, and then I'm going to put them in the other side of the arrow. So I'm going to start with this first one by making my base blue, the number next to it orange, and the number on the other side of the equal sign purple. If I follow the colors to this side, I'm going to do the blue, raised to the purple, equals the orange. And I'm just going to grab my black there. There we go. So now I can come down to the blanks here, and I'm going to put a 2, I'm going to put by 5, and I'm going to put by 32. And that's it for that question. All right, let's go ahead and look at the second one. Let me grab my color. And once again, the second one matches this form. These two match, and so I'm just going to color code them as such. So my base is 7. It's going to be raised to the -2 power, and it is equal to 1/49. So if I follow along from this side over, I'm going to copy with my colors. Let me grab my black here and put log. My base is going to be 7. The number next to it is going to be the orange, and it's going to equal the purple. Now I just have to go ahead and copy that in the blanks. So Alex already has the log for me. I'm just going to put in the 7. I'm going to put in the 1/49, and then I'm going to put in the -2. I will be using this tool to put in the fraction. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at question number 2. Now, question number 2 is asking us to round. It is asking us to use the Alg2 calculator, and then it wants us to round to the nearest thousandth. Now, I can't show you the Alg2 calculator, but what I can show you is the Desmos calculator. So let me go ahead and grab that Desmos calculator. Let me put it over here. There we go. So remember, in the functions part is where I can find my natural log and my log. In the Alg2 calculator, just look around. They should be there. It says 22.3, and it's up to you if you're using the Desmos calculator if you want to close the parenthesis or not. If you noticed, it did nothing to my answer when I closed it. So here is what I got. Oops. Let me grab my black. There we go. 3.10458816, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go ahead and round that. Notice it does ask me to round to the nearest thousandth, so I think of the number 1000. My decimal is always right here where the blue dot is after the 1, and that means there are 1, 2, 3 numbers that I need after my decimal. So let me grab my blue. I'm going to find my decimal, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. This is the one I want to round. The one right after it is going to tell me if I should round or not, and then these numbers, I didn't need to copy them. My rounding rule is right down here. Remember, if that number with the arrow is 4 or less, I'm going to let it rest. If it is 5 or more, I'm going to add 1 more. It is a 5, so I'm going to go ahead and say 3.105. All right, let's take a look at our next one. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in the Desmos calculator because I do not have the Alg2 one. All right, so once again, function log. I'm going to go back to my main. I can put in my fraction by using the a divided by b that's underneath the wrench, or I can go ahead and just do 4 divided by 5. Remember, once again, it's my choice. Nothing really changes if I leave the parenthesis open or not. So here we go, negative 0.0969110 dot, dot, dot. Once again, I find my decimal. Ooh, there we go. Find my decimal, 1, 2, 3, because it's thousandths. This one's going to help me. These ones I didn't need to copy. All right. Now I'm going to decide with the 6, and I'm looking at the number with the arrow above it. If it's 4 or less, I'm going to let it rest. If it's 5 or more, I'm going to add one more. It is 5 or more, so I'm going to go ahead and say 7. All right. Question number 3 is going to ask you to use the change of base formula to compute a log. This is the change of base formula. Here's the change of base formula from our notes. Just a quick reminder that normally we want to change b to 10 so that we can just go ahead and put this into the calculator. I'm going to be using the Desmos calculator, but Alex probably has a calculator for you to use as well. All right, let's go ahead and put these in right here. Let's see. The 6 is going to be in purple, and the 8, sorry, the 8's got to be in orange. Now, this is very tricky because notice this is this right here. Okay, and so I want to use that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to this. So let me grab my color here, and I'm simply going to change it to log of 6 over log of 8. Now you might be thinking, but you didn't put the base, miss. But remember, yes, the base is 10, but I don't need to put it because it's going into the calculator, right? This is just going to go straight into my calculator. So let me go ahead and find that function. I'm going to grab, oh no, wait a minute. Let's make the fraction first. Then let's go to the function. Let's put a log on top. Let's put a log on the bottom. Then let's go back to the main. Let's put 6 in the top and 8 in the bottom. And there we go. We have our answer. 0.86164 dot, dot, dot. And once again, it's asking me to round to the nearest thousandth. So I grab my decimal, 1, 2, 3, and this one's going to tell me what I should do. It is 5 or more, so I'm going to go ahead and add one more. 0.862 would be my answer. Excuse me. All right, question number 4 is going to ask me to solve. Question number 4 is going to ask me to solve for x. Now I'm going to leave my calculator up because I have a feeling that I'm going to need it for the next 2 problems. I'm going to go ahead, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color this like we did for question number 1. So this looks a lot like question number 1. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the same coloring. Oh, excuse me. So the 32 is my base. The X will be orange. And the 1/5 will be purple. Excuse me. Then what I can do is I can go ahead and write this as my base of 32 to my power, which is the purple one, equals the orange one. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. This can go right into the calculator. I can put that right into the calculator and the calculator will tell me what x is equal to. Here we go. 32 raised to the 1/5. X is 2. That's it. Just remember that when we did this one in class, sometimes the X was where the 1/5 is, where the purple 1/5 is. And so what we did was we just put numbers in. So we kept raising 32 to a power, trying to find whatever number was in the orange position. All right, our fifth and final question is asking us to solve the equation below. It is going to ask us to round to the nearest hundredth, which remember is 2 decimal places. So there's my 100, there's my decimal, 1, 2 numbers after it. Whenever I see something, a number raised to a power and the power has x, I can use the power rule right here to help me solve. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take my problem. And remember, you can take the log of both sides or you can take the natural log of both sides. It's completely up to you. Both of them will give you the same answer. It's just your personal preference. Okay, I'm choosing log because, I don't know, I like the log. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply the power rule. So notice that this side here on the left looks just like this. My x would be my 3, and here would be my power, which is p. Okay, so what I can do is I can take that negative 2x and I can multiply it times the log of 3 equals the log of 12. Okay, now remember you are solving for x. So I'm going to go ahead and make my x be orange. But that's just simply so that I keep in mind where x is. All right, so remember, we got to get rid of the log first. So let's go ahead and divide by the log. Now remember, you don't want to go into the calculator yet. Resist that urge. Remember, if you round in an intermittent step, you stand the chance of getting the decimal incorrect. So please make sure that you just kind of leave it in this position and you wait to round in the next step. I'm going to go ahead and divide by negative 2. Remember, when I divide a fraction like this by a number, any number, whether it's positive or negative, that number, that negative 2 on the bottom, is going to come in front of the log on the bottom of your original fraction, of your original division. So it's going to go in the denominator. Now that I have it in this position, I can go ahead and I can put it into my calculator. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use my a divided by b. I'm going to go over to my function. I'm going to drop a log on the top and a log in the bottom. That's just simply so that I don't have to keep coming back and grabbing my logs. That's the only reason I'm doing that. Notice that I got my cursor in front of the log on the denominator, and I'm going to go ahead and put the negative 2 in front of it, and then I'm going to click inside the parentheses to add the log of base 3. There's my answer. And I just want to show you, because I know some of you are thinking, oh no, miss, this can't be correct. So notice this is why I do it the way I did, because I have to keep moving and changing things. Look, guys, same exact fraction, same exact fraction. So I got negative 1.13092 ... I'm going to use my rules of rounding. I'm going to find my decimal, 1, 2 for the hundredths. This guy's going to tell me if I should round or not. I really didn't need those ones. It is 4 or less, so I'm going to go ahead and let it rest, and my answer is going to be negative 1.13. Good luck on your quiz, guys.